too.
Welcome to the Karen Mitches podcast. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me, Karen. Very excited to be here.
Today we have Jon Morley.
Hello, YouTube audience. Nice to meet you.
So we're recording on the hottest day of the year, I think.
Oh my God.
They were saying 40 degrees.
I believe that with the humidity. I believe that, yeah. I was dying out there today. Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I spent 2 hours just sitting outside my favorite convenience store, waiting for it to open. And but because it was open late today, or he didn't get there on his usual time.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was fun.
He was just, too hot to get out of bed.
I guess so. It didn't open until 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
Oh, okay. Is
that
better?
Through the side.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry.
Yes, so he did not start until 2 in the afternoon, so not very convenient, but...
That's incredible. I like a convenience store where you're just sort of setting your own hours.
It's a pretty impressive place, and I would name it, but I don't want to blow up my spot. He's got deals like you can't get anywhere else in the city, so you'll just have to figure it out on your own. But he's got the most interesting exterior you've ever seen. Absolutely unique signage. You'll never see anything like it, for sure.
Amazing.
Yeah, he loves to just plaster the boxes of his products. He'll cut out the label, and he'll turn that into just signage, and basically all of the walls of his store is just covered with different product placement labels. So that's a little sneak peek. If you want to get really cheap cigarettes, that's the place to go in the city.
That's who's got the best.
Look for Coke boxes on the walls.
Is smoking back in now of cigarettes?
I think it is very in. Yeah, it's a smoker's summer for sure.
So, did you always smoke cigarettes?
I started when I was 21, I want to say. I'm 34 now.
Yeah.
So feels like always.
So you were smoking through all the vaping years?
Yes, yeah. Before vaping, through vaping, I also vape. Do it all. But smoking just has a vibe.
Yeah.
It's hard to capture. Tastes awful though. I
quit smoking, and then a couple years later, I remember my cousin was vaping, and I was so I kind of think I would have switched to vaping.
But I don't know.
So
easy to get hooked on vaping too. It's dangerously easy.
And then because I smoked for I think I smoked for 19 years.
Oh wow! Okay.
Does that make sense? Anyway, I smoked from when I was in grade 8 till when I was maybe 32.
Okay.
I don't even know how to count that. Anyway, smoked for a long time. So it would be weird to smoke and not have a fucking cigarette.
It is, and the crazy thing with vaping is you could sit there and inhale several cigarettes worth of nicotine in one go, and that's what makes it so addictive and bad for you.
Yeah.
Along with all the like stuff we don't know about the ingredients.
I kind of became a beer drinker so I wouldn't drink too fast. I'm very compulsive. So I would just vape too. Yeah, I would probably stick with cigarettes.
Yeah. I pretty much vape until I'm gonna throw up, and then 5 minutes later I do it again. I'm not exaggerating at all. It's that easy.
And that's why people are back on the cigarettes.
Yeah, it's hard to sit there and smoke 4 or 5 cigarettes unless you're really stressed and you've practiced chain smoking. It's not easy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the tolerance has to build up really slowly.
Yes. And I feel the nausea of hitting the vape too hard. I'm way too old to just say hitting the vape. I just realized that goes away so fast compared to if you've ever smoked just a little too much. I feel ill for a good hour.
Because I don't really remember smoking too much being a problem unless I drank, and then the next day I'd be I smoked too much.
Oh yeah, you definitely feel it in the morning. Yes.
So I'm trying to think when I first met you, it was through the Salto mic.
Okay.
I think I think for
that.
a while that was I only knew you at Salto's.
Yeah, I think a lot of people pretty much know me from Salto. Yeah.
And how did that relationship with that restaurant start?
So 2019, I left Toronto because of COVID. It was scary in my neighborhood in Kensington Market, so I went back home to North Bay for a year, and after that, I moved back, and I moved into the neighborhood that Salto is in, which is like Davenport and Ossington, I guess you would say. It's pretty accurate, and you know,
Do you call it? Is it Casa Loma?
It's right by Casa Loma. I don't know if that's the neighborhood.
Okay.
Regal Heights was the neighborhood I lived in, and I think that Salto is actually in that.
Regal Heights.
Yeah, sounds so fancy, and it was. There's houses on the street that I was renting a basement in. Crazy, amazing.
Oh my God! No, I love that's a gorgeous neighborhood.
But yes, I just walked in. I walked in one day, and it was post-COVID, so they were pretty excited at the prospect of just like anybody coming into their bar. We're talking like. Before the I guess after the first like rough lockdown, but like additional ones came after we started. But yeah, you know, and of course there was nowhere else really doing open mics at the time, or very few, so it was really popular for like a good year. We were heading like 20-25 comics a week. So
they hadn't had comedy before?
No.
And you brought it?
Yes, I caused all of the comedy there.
That's awesome.
By proxy.
Because most comics don't bring a new venue in so much as ruin an existing.
Well, that happens.
But I guess those guys they must like comedy.
They do. They like comedy, and they're just happy for some traffic on a slower day. And that's how we kind of organized it from the get-go, is just like, what's your slowest day? I can bring in X amount of comedians and, you know, divide that. Like, say there's going to be 30 comedians. Like, at least like 2/4 are going to buy something. The best I can do. A lot of people are going to order water. That just comes with the nature of free events, I think. But, yeah, and that was the deal, and we've kept it going. Like, it's going to be 4 years in the fall. Thank goodness it's really, you know, we're not dealing with 30 comedians a week anymore, because to me that's just too much work.
Yeah.
I like kind of where it's at now, where we're getting like, you know, a dozen or so.
There was a kind of like moment, like a fever pitch for Salto.
Oh yeah.
And then you just got I think a bunch of people realized Wednesday was a great night and started opening.
Yes. And I mean, it's funny, like so many shows have even come and gone on Wednesday since starting it up. So it's
like, the other thing too is the Corner does their lightning round at 10. So I think a lot of people double up a mic with that one.
Yes.
And Salto is one of the worst ones to pair, just in terms of getting from Salto to the Corner. Like, I usually do Pizza Rustica, and people will be like, well, that's not the best
not
mic.
Really
but
it's not in a convenient
distance-wise, it's the best one.
To get to corner, and fairly convenient to get down to Tammy's when that was still running. But yeah, we just compete with a lot of other shows, and I don't mind, honestly. Like, I know it's like people like, you know, are like, oh, it's bad or whatever, because it's not a lot of audience, but it's, you know, it's just workshop vibes. Occasionally we have tables. We always have locals that do actually pay attention. Sometimes people have meltdowns on them, but they're listening to you.
The Salto neighborhood their crowd is really cool.
It can be. Yeah. No, I mean, all of the people that like still come on Wednesdays are pretty awesome.
Yeah. And for me, like, when I'm running a mic, I don't want it to be long.
Well, that's how I felt after a couple months of like dealing with between 20 and 30 comics. It's like, well, you know, it's not fun for anybody in the like last 15.
Yeah.
Because the first 15 are all gone, and everyone leaves immediately after that. And it's just like a sort of slow grinding halt to the end of the show when there's just two of us chilling in the room at the end, and one's me.
The energy for that last person is incredible. But it was funny because one of the people I met at Salto was Burhan. And then he and I ended up hosting a mic at Teddy Beer, which was really exciting because we both wanted hosting experience. That venue was sort of new to comedy, so we were excited about the venue. We're having a great time. But like I just ran into Burhan the other night, and me and him were laughing about our mic because we were almost like the worst two people to run a mic together because neither of us is confrontational. So we did nothing. We did nothing to manage the mic. Like some people might say like, "Hey, homeless person," or "Hey, Matt Baxter," like you can't come up
or name dropping. Okay. But well, I just want to say, I know it didn't last very long, but that one time that it was in the front, I mean, I had fun every time I went, but oh man, I wish that they had just kept your show going in the front room of that venue. It was so awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel though like as like having done it and also looking at other people hosting mics, I think it's like, I think if I did it in the future, I might do like a booked mic or Janice Israeloff told me when she was on my pod that she hosts a clean mic because it reduces the number of problem people who show up.
And that's definitely true, like especially with people who shall remain unnamed, and there's not just Baxter, there's a lot of people. They go through this thing where it's just a matter of time before they end up kicked out of every show. So it's like there's a very small pool, and yeah, when you start a new thing, they'll go show up to whatever it is, unless there's like a caveat that like lets them know, oh, like you just can't come here and say the N-word and think it's a joke, like you know, like a clean show or like something like that, where it's like kind of lets you know ahead of time. But thankfully, the community kind of figures out those characters, and then you see them at less and less places, which is a shame because like some of them can be really funny, but it's like my thing is I don't really care if you're like the most genius comedian if you're like causing problems for me or the venue. Like what's like there's just, you can't be worked with.
There's also just like, I guess like the one thing we did do to curate it was if there were headliners, I would always put them first. And I feel like you have to put the talent at the beginning because they're maintaining the energy.
Yes.
And it'd be nice if everyone stuck around. But if somebody is like literally a pro, I don't think people should be mad about it. And I think if the first 3 or 5 comics leave because they're pros, but you're maybe newer to comedy, I kind of think it's good to stick around to support the people who were there for you. But I think some people just get very like, oh, this isn't a fair situation, so I'm just going to leave immediately too.
I think both the things you said are true. It's important to just have pros at your mics because it kicks up the quality of the show, and it's not just like for, you know, quote unquote audience members. Like new comedians should watch more experienced comedians do their thing, and that's how you learn to a degree. Besides doing it, is also observing it. But yeah, pros always have somewhere to be, and they want to be able to hit your thing as a practice so they can go do their other show or whatever they're doing, or maybe they just want to go home and they put their time in. So it didn't work out me trying to like be fair and not do that for pros. So now like very few pros come to Salto. Some do. Some pros like still come, which is, I love it because it's like we get to like have them in our space, and it's not like the like, you know, brand new people, which not everybody that's brand new is totally awful, but they're not like, you can't compare like the two. It's like apples and oranges.
I think the thing too is if you see a new person when they're bringing their A game, like they've gone on the Yuck Yucks mic and they've practiced and they're bringing it first for an audience. But when you get a newcomer trying new stuff versus a pro trying new stuff, like you could see like George Rivard do new stuff and you'll think it's old stuff because he's, I don't know, it's just something with the delivery or the way they're like peppering it in.
Oh, absolutely.
Whereas like a new person will just like a kid learning to ride their bike.
Sorry, I'm just like burping off to the side. If you're wondering why I keep like doing that, I feel like that nobody wants to listen to that.
I think that is the standard etiquette, is just to not do it on the like right into the mic.
Saves the next person having to like smell it as well. That'll be good. But yeah, you just kind of have, I think, like to circle back to what you were saying about like getting butthurt about like the lack of fairness. It's just like, well, welcome to like the world.
Yeah.
It's nothing's gonna ever be fair. And I think a certain amount of good sportsmanship, if you're trying to do multiple shows, is like watch 1 or 2 sets. It's like that's like the minimum. And some people don't even do that, and it's fine to a degree. But then say you like start running it a long time, you start to recognize the people that are like, okay, listen, I'm not going to give you a hard time. I know your shtick is like you come 2 hours early and then you do your spot and then you go. But at least you don't go bullet. So you do end up watching some of the show, Burhan.
Yeah.
But no, he likes to go after. I know he's either trying to go home to his wife or to another show. But he is like, he's always at least watching a good portion of the show beforehand and like watching the empty bar there for like 2 hours. So that's cool. But you just have to let it go. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Just try and do what you think is chill.
How long have you been doing comedy?
Like 10 years. I think this is like going on 10 for sure.
And was it just recently that you started doing Humber?
Well, yeah, past 2 years. I basically just wrapped up with that program.
How did you like it?
It's pretty awesome. I mean, like I'm 34, so it was pretty weird. Like most of the other people are like, 18 to 22, I would say. So it was, I fit in with them in the sense that we all loved comedy, but it was more like, the age range, the maturity level.
Yeah.
I had a hard time,
They're
really
like
getting into it. Like I kind of wish that I had been younger, because I've known about that program since I've started comedy here, because there's always been comedians that have been in the scene that are part of it, and it's like, whoa, I wish I knew about like grants when I was 22, because I would have gone in and probably just had more of the college experience, which would have been fun.
Yeah.
But the course itself is awesome. All the instructors are really great. You learn awesome stuff. You get to do cool spots at Yuck Yucks on the Humber show.
Do you think you leveled up from it?
Yeah, in some ways. Like you getting to play the Humber night at Yucks is definitely an asset. It's an asset to get to play for more regular audiences.
Because I just saw you the other night at Small's Kitchen, and you were prepping for the Big Six comedy contest, and I felt like your set was like stronger than I'd seen.
Yeah, well, I always just have so much fun at Small's. I don't know what it is. Sometimes I even just do my old stuff, like when I know I've got a show coming up and I want to run my like tight 5 of the season, I'll go there and I'll feel like I'm going to have a set where I'm just kind of going through the motions for my own like memorization purposes, because Small's, if you don't know, is like mostly comedians, so it's less pressure.
Yeah.
And then I'll like have an excellent time. Right? It's a lot, and
so
the vibes are great. So,
and which is like, because sometimes people don't like to play to comedians because they're like, nobody laughs.
Not at Smalls, though.
Yeah, Smalls feels like just like a club.
Yeah, honestly, it does have that energy, and that's why I keep going back.
Is that because of the way Joe has run it, or?
I think a combination of the good energy of Joe hosting, and the guest hosts usually do a really good job too. Like Jamal does a great job when he hosts.
Yeah. Jamal's coming on here soon.
Oh, cool. Yeah, very chill guy. Love hanging with Jamal. Funny. The other thing that makes it great is you're forced into one space.
Yeah.
There's no green room area that is like you could go outside and smoke or be in the bar watching the show. Because there's no like place for comics to like hang and talk shit and disrupt the show.
Yeah, sometimes there's only one room, but somehow people just like hide in the back of it and form a conversation that distracts from...
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, most shows do that. Salto's the worst for it because of the echoiness of the bar. So if I'm
my
talking
favorite night at Salto was there was like a playoff game on, and like the locals were at the front of the bar watching the Leafs, and then we were like at the back doing comedy just to each other. Yep.
I mean, when you're playing in bars, you do tend to take the sidelines to the major sports events. There's been I could talk for hours about times when sound has been an issue there. But when you're running an open mic, especially when you like the people that run the business, like those guys treat me like family. So I'm just happy that they're getting business, even though I'd like it to be a better experience for the people listening to the show. I'm never gonna like turn up my nose to people that are back there spending money at the bar having a good time. Like,
Yeah.
they're tolerating us doing comedy, and sometimes we just have our little comedy support group at the back of the bar and don't disrupt anybody. But more often than not, we pretty much have the space to ourselves, and there'll be some conversation at the front, but it's not usually dominating the space. Sometimes it's the staff too will dominate the whole space with like stuff that they've got going on. They're Italian, and when other Italian people get in there, they get excited. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It can't be controlled.
So what is your view on just like the decade that you've been in comedy, like how the scene has been, how it's changed?
Oh, the scene? I thought you were asking about me, like my own personal career, and I would say woof. But the scene is awesome. Toronto is the best place, I think, to get good at stand-up. I think like there's obviously some places in the States where there are different things happening and still very big scenes, but I think that just the access to stage time that we have here is like you can't really compare it. And it kind of like, as far as like shows go, it comes and goes. Sometimes it's easier to get the stage time, sometimes it's easier to get on the booked things. But it's kind of like always happening here. Like when I started out in Calgary, I could do stand up like once every 2 weeks.
Oh shit.
And that's like going out every week trying to get on.
So wait, you're from North Bay,
Mm-hmm.
and then you left town and went to Calgary?
Yes. So my parents split up. My mom went out west. And at some point I was living out there, and that's where I started stand up. Mm-hmm.
And was there something that drove you to it?
Yeah, just listening to comedians talk about, the craft, and like sort of just listening to their personalities and just being able to relate to that idea, and just going out and trying it and having fun. I was like pretty much hooked immediately after my first set. I was like, oh, I need to do this again, and just been doing it ever since.
Nice. So then did you think, like, why did you settle in Toronto? Like, because of comedy, or?
Yes, 100%. I was living in Calgary, and I'll never forget, it was Dylan Gott and Alex Pavone were coming through to Comedy Monday Nights, which is like the best open mic in Calgary for like 20 years. It just finally died, unfortunately. Rest in peace. But yeah, so whenever people came from out of town, they're getting on. That was like this kind of the way it works out west. If you're coming from here or Vancouver or Edmonton, whatever, they'll throw you on stuff like just the way it goes. So you get to, that's why they were at Comedy Monday Nights, and I was like, what's it like in Toronto? And Pavone is like, yeah, you can do stand-up every night of the week. And I was like, whoa. And
okay, so I don't know Pavone, but I know Dylan Gott.
Mm-hmm.
How long was he into it at that point?
Oh, goodness. I have no idea, but this is like 15 years ago.
Okay.
Because I say, like, I have about 10 years of experience, but there's probably a good, like, 4-ish in there where I wasn't really doing stand-up. If I accumulate the COVID year and like 2016, 2018, I really slowed down. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so they were already like, if they weren't headlining, they were like at that level. Like you'd think they're a headliner, but I think they probably were, considering they were probably doing Yucks, like on tour with Yucks. So
yeah.
Excuse me. But yeah, that's what Pavone told me. And then I had a super rough breakup, and I was like, yeah, let's do this. Let's go to Toronto. And I had family in Ontario, so it just kind of made sense. So I knew I'd still have kind of that support system, and still be able to, give it a go.
Nice. Do you miss North Bay?
It's very relaxing there. Well, actually, no, not anymore. My memories of it are awesome, but it's been like, it has the whole thing where like other towns ship their people with serious drug problems there.
Oh shit.
So it's like kind of wild. You walk down the main street of North Bay, population like 50,000, and it's like worse than it's like walking in a very, very bad neighborhood in Toronto is what it feels like. As far as like the fentanyl fold kind of thing.
I'm from London, Ontario, and it's hard to explain how bad our drug problem is because it's not. I mean, we're like obviously bigger than North Bay, but I think it's like 350,000 people. So it's not a million, that kind of big city. But yeah, I think just it's like a hub city for a lot of smaller communities. Yes. So everyone, just the same way everyone comes in to like go to the mall or go to college, like you come in to be
North Bay is like that as well, yeah, because of its positioning. There's all of the smaller communities around it kind of gravitate towards it. And then like legitimately like you heard of in the States where like Texas will ship its unhoused people to California to go be on Skid Row. There's like a situation like that, except they're not sending them to Skid Row. They're sending them to North Bay that has like pretty good services for those people, like harm reduction and shelters and stuff. But the spillover is like, whoa, this isn't the main street that I grew up on where you could just like leave your bike without a lock and leave your car unlocked and walk at any time of the night. I think it's still relatively safe, but there's a lot of like more petty crime, like theft and break and enters and stuff like that.
It's weird because I can like sometimes I'm home and I'm walking around and I'll be walking on a street where it's like I can remember like this was the shopping street and being there at Christmas time and like or like the going to see a movie in this theater and everyone pouring out into the street, and then you're just seeing like this post-apocalyptic like people doing needles on the street, and you like no one could have told me that in my life like that would happen to my city.
I wouldn't have guessed just like by its size. One thing I will say that's nice though, to like say a nice thing about North Bay is it's a lot more culturally diverse than when I grew up.
Yeah.
Like I can think back and like this is going to sound maybe it's going to sound wrong, but it's like I remember the first time I saw an Asian person. Was that weird? Like, but I remember that experience.
Yeah, because that's
vividly.
The kind of yeah.
But now it's like lots and lots of different kinds of people live there, and like I think like a lot of Indian people have moved there. There's like a big Punjabi community there now, which is like I like that because they're they're not the ones doing fentanyl. They're working their asses off and like having a nice life in North Bay where it's affordable to live. So
I was in Thunder Bay. This is a number of years ago now. This is like maybe like 2000, maybe 2010. Okay. And my sister was living up there, so I went to visit her. And I remember just thinking like, well, it's Northern Ontario, so it won't have all the stuff I'm used to. And then I was just surprised by like, oh, they have a Thai restaurant and they have like, it just wasn't as like, I guess it just goes along with like the diversity that like the North has way more stuff than it used to have. It isn't as much of the sticks.
Well, yeah, and Thunder Bay is like another example, I think, of like a hub city. That's actually where some of my family is from, originally from Thunder Bay, and then they moved down to North Bay.
What's the distance?
Oh, God, it must be at least 10 hours of drive from Thunder Bay to North Bay, maybe even more. I remember one time I took a Greyhound cross country from Calgary to Toronto, and it was like 3 days, 2 nights on the bus. And like there's like a whole day. What is
North Bay near?
It's relatively close to Sudbury. I think it's like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours from Sudbury. It's not really near anything. I mean, I don't think it's near anything famous that I could rattle off. Like I could name small towns that would make even less sense as a reference. But it's right off on the highway. So like I think a lot of like whether you're coming from like Timmins and up north, like you end up going through it. And if you're coming up from Toronto, like you'll see it on the road signs. Like it gets a lot of traffic through it via the highway. And then like because it's the biggest, like it's got the Walmart and it's got the shopping mall and the movie theater, people are going to come in from the small towns to
do you
like,
have
do stuff.
Any family back there?
Oh yeah. Most of my family's from North Bay and area.
So have you ever done a comedy show there?
Yeah, this one a venue called Lou Dogs right on Main Street. Has comedy shows periodically there, and I've had the opportunity to go there and play a couple of times actually.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's a very nice spot.
So what if you were living there? Like, how often could you do comedy?
If I had to live there,
Like, do you know anyone there who does it?
yes, I know. I think the only comedian that lives there. Most of the people that were doing that show when it was running frequently, because I think they've actually canceled it. There's not enough comedians. Were people from Sudbury and the area around again. So it's like people coming in from other areas to play, because there's just not that many comics in North Bay. Just Adam Beanish is the only comic in North Bay I actually know, and he's like a teacher and married and has kids and stuff, so it's just like he's just having fun with it. But if for me, I'd probably have to make my own stuff happen. And so like I don't even know, there's nothing right now that I could do aside from just be like producing my own event, which is tiresome. But I just get bored in North Bay. It's like, again, just to like circle back, like, what do I like about it? Do I like, would I live there again? Maybe if the economy gets bad enough that I'm priced out of even the GTA, yes. But otherwise, no. I love people. I like being around people. Yeah. Even though they're scary and I actually am socially anxious around them, there's just like an energy to living in this big city that I like.
Yeah. It's weird though. I feel like it's easier. Like, I feel like a lot of socially anxious people like big cities because you can be alone a lot, but
I don't feel lonely, but I actually like being alone. Yeah. But it's nice to not be isolated or feel isolated. And if you want to go out and participate in karaoke or whatever you want to do, any kind of like, you want to find a anime group, it exists. If you want it here in Toronto, you can get it, and that's what I like. I like just that, and like not doing any of the cool stuff that there is to do, but having the option.
It's there if you want it.
Yeah.
Does it surprise you, like, over time to see sort of like who sticks with comedy or like who goes far with it?
I think I'm less surprised at like when people go far, because usually it's pretty visible when people are talented. Like, when they're hilarious, you're like, oh yeah. Maybe sometimes there's ones where I'm like scratching my head, but it's like there's other aspects to comedy or like to being in the entertainment industry than just performing too. There's the whole other game of like being good at networking, being able to maybe produce your own thing and make stuff happen that way. And, I'm sure there's other factors that I could rattle off, but who quits? Sometimes that surprises me.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. There, I've been trying to get that one out forever. I'm sorry if that was on mic, but
it's okay.
No, sometimes you're like, man, like this, he or she or they, whatever, like, were hilarious. What happened to them? Like, that's a thought that I've had multiple times for sure.
Do you ever find out?
Yeah, I think they get burnt out, because a lot of people get into this like, oh, let's grind open mics, 10 times a week.
Yeah.
10 nights, like not 10 nights a week, but try and hit 10 mics a week for 5 years. And, maybe they don't necessarily get the progress that they want with their career, if you want to call it that. And that just kind of like tires them out. Other people, it's like a work-life balance. Like they get more demands in their outside of comedy life and their real life, and they can't commit the amount of time that you need to keep sharp.
Yeah.
Or like just people have a kid and they kind of like have to go deal with that for a while. Sometimes they come back even stronger though with like great new material, like out of experiences like that, whether it's like having a child or a new job or something, or losing their job and they come back with that energy, or a breakup. Oh, I've seen many comics get really focused on a new relationship, and like they don't have that sort of like they're getting something out of that I think they were also getting from comedy, so they don't feel the need to go out to comedy anymore, because they're like just pretty satisfied in a new relationship, so they don't go out. That happens pretty frequently.
Yeah.
Well, not frequently is a bold way of saying it, but it happens. It happened to me.
So I feel you with the kind of the grinding thing, because I think there is this kind of, there's levels that they'll say, you know, okay, you need like 300 mics, you're at this level, 500, you're at that level. Like, you know, you need 1,000 to be like really good or something. So then you're like, all I have to do is get that in. So what are you going to do? You're just going to do as many mics as possible. Oh. But I think there's something weird, like, you know how like if you're raising a child, like you couldn't raise them faster, like they're going to just age at the same rate. And I'm not saying, like, yeah, if you go out more, I do think it speeds it up, but there's a point at which it doesn't.
No, absolutely.
So I don't know what it is, and it could be different for different people. But I'm like, yeah, if I went to as many mics as possible, like let's say, like if I quit my job, I don't think I'd get to the next level faster, even though I could probably go to more mics. But it's just like, as long as I'm hitting a certain like critical point, I'm doing enough. And then it's like, I have to do that level like over a certain number of years, which I don't even know what that is.
You're so right.
Oh shit.
Lovely. You're so right. Like, especially with like the analogy of like you can't like rush the growth of a child, and it being different for like each child. Let's say in the like scenario, like some kids are gonna have a crazy growth spurt, and like there's comics that are like they're in the industry for a few years and they have that X factor and they're very funny and they're good at meeting people and they're likable, and boom, all of a sudden they're like pro comedians and they've just started, and it's like so soul crushing when you're still doing it for 10 years and kind of terrible at networking and comedy. But other times, like, yeah, you have to keep feeding the kid.
Yeah.
Or it will stop growing. I don't know. I kind of lost my train of thought there as I just felt like bitterly sad for myself. But yeah, that's an accurate way of putting it with that the child.
What do you think like is like the best thing to sort of like keep going, like if you're not going fast, like to stay positive?
Well, do you mean like with your skill at comedy or with your career progression?
I guess just like with like just keep going with doing it.
Like the enthusiasm?
Yeah.
Just having fun, enjoying yourself, whatever that means. Like if you aren't enjoying it, I feel like you would just get burnt out, and you might get to this point you ask yourself like, why am I even at Groove Bar right now?
Yeah.
You know, like what am I doing? If you can't have fun in the environment of stand-up, then you won't survive in it, I don't think, anyways. And that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Like you have to like the rush of getting on stage. But I also think there's something for me where it's like I like the type of socializing that is going to the mics. It's like this kind of non-committal, like you go to a place and there's people there, you're always going to know them. It's different groups, you don't know exactly who will be there. You can come when you want, you can leave when you want. Whereas I think other people, they don't like that. They'd be like, instead of going to this open mic, I could have gone to my boyfriend's house. Yeah. I could have gone out with my 3 best girlfriends and like connected with people. Because the other thing is like the people you run into, they're not like, Karen Mitches, like, how are you? Like they sort of like, they're it's a more casual friendship. It's connected around one thing.
Hey, how are you? No, yeah, I understand completely what you're saying though. And I love that too, because it's very like, I can get my like sometimes I feel like I don't have the largest social battery, if you want to call it, but like I still want to go out and like use it.
Yeah.
And then it's so great to just be able to like, I'm done, I can just leave. It's like very gives you a lot of agency.
Yeah.
I think I feel so smart using the word agency.
That was a good use.
I saw you have the like ROM Auschwitz exhibit flyer. Did you go?
I have a magazine here that's from the Royal Ontario Museum, and they have an Auschwitz exhibit. When that came in the mail, it scared the shit out of me because I just joined the ROM, and so it came in an envelope that said welcome. But it didn't say ROM, it just said welcome. And then I like tore it open and I saw the word Auschwitz. And I was like, oh my God, what kind of a sociopath would send this to me?
It is a bit messed
But
up.
I haven't actually gone yet. Have you been?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm kind of scared to go. Did it fuck you up?
Well, I mean, I'm a history buff. Strong Holocaust believer that it happened. It's like, how do you describe, like, you know, yeah, it was awesome. No, that's not the right way to put it. Like, yeah, it's like you're probably going to cry. Probably cry a little bit. I cried a little bit. It's just intense. They have a lot of cool is the wrong word, but it's fascinating to look at these, like, artifacts. They have a lot of artifacts, and they have a lot of survivors speaking. So, like, if you've ever been to, like, a museum and you get that, like, thing where it's, like, this painted, like, it talks to you, it like narrates your tour of it. That includes a lot of testimony from survivors, which was just like, getting emotional just thinking about it now. But I thought you might have been. I totally recommend it. I mean, I feel like worth it if you can. Yeah, it's not like going to be overstimulating. Maybe there was this person when I went. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but I have to get this thought out of my head.
Yeah,
there was this person while I was there, and they had their phone, and they were taking a picture of every single item and text block, and we're talking like hundreds of like different items and different like areas of text, which is fine. I think you should catalog it. Here's the thing that was killing me though. They had the camera noise on their phone. So the whole time I'm here, I'm just like trying to get into the vibe of the Holocaust, I guess, and like it's just like like for like 2 hours.
Fuck, that's annoying.
I'm gonna like go to my grave regretting not being like, hey, could you please silence your phone?
Yeah,
that's not even an insane thing to ask, right?
It's weird though. Like, okay, I was in Amsterdam with my sister, and we went to Anne Frank's house, and my sister had like a very emotional experience. Like, she was crying, and it's just like you're in the physical space of a story that you know. And I was like, I think because it was really busy, I just like didn't connect to it. Like, I don't know. And I think sometimes there's just certain things, it could be some kind of stimulus, but it just takes you out of like the presence of it. But I do want to go to that exhibit a lot. It's
pretty dope. Worth it. I mean, it's a little extra than like a regular entrance to the ROM. And I guess if you have a membership, it might just be like whatever the entrance cost is to just that exhibit, which then it'll be like nothing basically, like $10-15. But yeah. Very cool exhibit.
What other parts of history do you care about?
Ooh, I mean, I think history is just a very interesting topic because it's, you know, so much stuff happened and like so many interesting characters in the stories that have just like, you know, shaped our world that we live in. Yeah. Maybe Canadian history is mostly boring. And really, you know, let's not get into the bad stuff that we did here, but yeah, like there's a lot of fascinating history, and I do love Canadian history as well. There's a lot of cool stuff. It's some not great looking stuff if you're Caucasian, but I guess with regards to like the, you know,
but a lot of history is somebody doing something bad. Yeah, like it's still to me interesting. It is. I am fascinated with it. I love like Genghis Khan is a fascinating area of history, and like just thinking about how much of like the world they were able to like just
own because they had the best like weapons system at the time available with their like horse archery and shit. It's fascinating. I'm not actually smart enough to talk about history. I say the Holocaust was cool. I mean, it was like it's a thing that everybody should go and learn about. Also, Genghis Khan, cool to learn about.
Yeah.
I could talk about history for another whole hour, but not in a smart way. Not like a Dan Carlin way and like a yo guy. Fucking Napoleon, bro. What about you? Do you have a favorite historical segment?
My favorite history right now is Game of Thrones, which isn't. People will say it's not real history, but I'm gonna argue that it's more real.
Lore. It's the lore.
It's something that. Are you a fan?
Yes.
Like it feels like history, right? Mm-hmm. Like it's very.
Oh yeah.
The world building is so good that it's kind of like history, but with magic.
I got pretty obsessed with it for a while. The books. I watched a great deal of the show. Never watched the last season though.
You got demoralized.
Yeah, I got a little demoralized on it, but pretty obsessed with the books. I've even read like a couple, or one graphic novel, I guess you'd call it, of the, what's it called? Hedge Knight, I think. It's about Duncan the Tall or whatever.
I haven't read. That's because he did some one-off stories, but I'm confused. So it's the same world, but just like some new characters.
Yes, it's earlier on. It's pre any of the stuff that happens in the mainline books. Like so, a Duncan the Tall is like this like knight that's not like doesn't have like an official like status. Like he's not with like the Baratheons or with the Starks or the Lannisters. He's just kind of like a freelancer. But his squire is secretly a Targaryen. Like he knows, but he's like kind of squiring a Targaryen prince essentially.
What's your favorite sort of like world within the world?
That's a tough question.
Like favorite house or family or whatever.
I like all of the like ones you barely hear about in the north, like the Flints and the Norries and the Wolves, like those like sort of
Bear
like backcountry. Yeah, Bear Island is an epic one too. Mormont on Bear Island, but there's like all the like little like the hillbilly mountain people that they talk about, and they eventually like Stannis goes around and like rallies them to him after like Ned Stark is dead. Spoiler alert, I guess. Sorry, you didn't know that Ned Stark dies. Whoops. But I love those guys because they're fun. They have like little special shaggy ponies. They're like excellent at surviving in the winter. They wear like crazy camouflage that's made of like trees and stuff. And instead of being like more, they're like even more they're as different from like the Starks as the Starks are from like the southern people that don't even like, they never see snow, So I love that. I think that's a wonderful little section. And all the like, especially even further you go with all of the like what are they called, the wildlings. I forget what they call themselves. All of a sudden, like free something
free folk.
Yeah, the free folk, those tribes up there are all cool. Like they have like interesting lore, and you don't really get as much of it because it's like, oh, they don't have like maesters writing their history down and shit. So it's like it's again just like fun to sort of get the little tidbits as it trickles in from the various points of view that are up there. Yeah. What about you?
I think mine, I don't know, like I really loved the Starks. That's where like if I was from there, I would want to be specifically from Winterfell.
Oh yeah.
But then it's like I really liked Marjorie Tyrell. And like I guess it'd be nice to be like somebody richer.
That's where I'd live, by the way. If I had to choose where to live, Highgarden 100%.
It's like, it's warm, but it's not too hot. Mm-hmm. It's just beautiful gardens.
Yeah, lots of
Everybody's
food.
rich. Mm-hmm. The whole family is just like really social and good at schmoozing. Mm-hmm. Like they would probably appreciate a comedian.
Pretty, yeah. Like all around, I think Highgarden is the way to go.
A lot of hot people.
Yep. Accepting of homosexuality, everything. Like it's just like it's probably the most accepting place to be is Highgarden.
Yeah.
I was pretty obsessed with Boltons for a while.
Oh my god. Okay, so the Boltons are my least favorite, and they're, if you like, you know, when you're going up in the books, whenever you're near the Starks, the Boltons aren't far away, and they're fucking horrific.
Yeah, I had a very like I just like villains and heels in general. So yeah, I got like pretty into them.
I do like a villain, but there's something with, because the violence within Game of Thrones, and especially with the Boltons, is so sadistic.
Yeah.
That like it's kind of traumatic, and I think it's still hard in the show, but it's especially hard when you're reading and like they're describing stuff and it gets in your head, and then it's like you have to go to bed that night after reading something horrific.
Yeah, this tattoo was a mistake.
What's the? Oh my god, is it a flayed man?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
No, I love it.
Yeah, it has some negative connotations when you think about the stuff they get up to, but again, it's just a tattoo. I don't condone any of the Bolton's actions. But I thought it'd be a sweet tattoo, and I do like the tattoo, but it's like, oh, Game of Thrones fans are going to think I'm into some dark shit.
What are your other... Are they...
I have like an anime girl over here. I've had a neck tattoo that says One Love for like since I was 17. I don't even know how many years that is now.
Is that a reference to something?
It's Bob Marley.
Oh,
you know,
nice.
One Love. Yeah. I really liked smoking weed at 17, and I still do. So it suits me.
Was that your first tattoo?
This one here is my first tattoo, and it's from what's his name? Da Vinci Code guy. His other book.
Dan Brown.
Yes.
Oh fuck.
He had these like images in it where it's like the words can be, you can flip the image upside down and it says it both ways.
Oh, okay.
And I thought that was super cool.
Yeah.
And then I have
what does it say?
Oh, it says earth, air, fire, and water.
Nice.
In a sort of weird kind of way. This is a terrible angle to try and show it off, but
it has a good geometric kind of look to it.
Yeah, this is honestly probably one of my favorites because the placement is like good, and it's still
and
like...
the other one's a snake?
Oh yeah, I have like a dead snake up here. It's like a road-killed snake.
Oh my god.
I want to get some more tattoos though. Having a neck tattoo for was almost like at least close to 20 years. It must be close to 20 years now. But not more neck tattoos is a problem because it's like I have too much tattoos to have like normal office job, but not enough tattoos to work in a tattoo parlor. So I need to really go full tilt. I'm going to get everything done up. I'm going to go fully tattooed by the time I'm really old.
But do you feel like nowadays you can do whatever you want?
Yeah,
with
totally.
tattoos?
I'm really just kidding around. You absolutely can. I don't get an office job because I lack the skills because of the tattoo. And I can't work in the tattoo parlor. Also, no skills to work there. But I do want to get more just because I enjoy them. But I've never been rich enough to afford like just full sleeves and everything. I kind of just get them piecemeal as I go through. I think I'll be like 70 years old and still getting a new tattoo every now and then. I'll keep some space available. I already know what my next one's going to be.
What's her next one going to be?
Are you familiar with the anime Attack on Titan?
No.
Well, it's pretty popular in the anime world, but essentially like the characters in it like use this special gear to like jump around and like fight these giants, and there's like this like part of it that's like a reel, and it sits right here on the back in the show. So I'm gonna get that reel on my back.
So like the characters have a reel on their back.
Yeah, it's like equipment that they put on.
That's like part of their weaponry.
Essentially, yeah, and it's just in the perfect location. So it's like
I love it. And it's called Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Is it a good? It's a show or a?
Oh yeah, it's also like manga, comic book, but the show is excellent. Yeah.
Will I like it?
Probably, I would say if you have the time. Like there's a lot of these like Japanese shows that have like 1,000 episodes and stuff, and they're impossible to get into. This one just has like 4 seasons, and it's pretty good. Actually, I'll go on a limb, and I think you'll like it. I would say I think you'll like it. It's one of the better ones in the whole sphere of animated stuff.
What else have you been watching in recent years that you love?
Oh man, all kinds of stuff. I love true crime. That's what I watch on the regs. Like I watch all kinds of true crime stuff. I'll rewatch true crime stuff.
Yeah.
Like Forensic Files, a favorite show.
What's Forensic Files?
It's just like a sort of.
Is it famous cases or just any?
Some of them. It's mostly like. It's some like a couple of them are famous, and it's not always necessarily like violent crimes or murders and stuff. Sometimes it's like, oh, what caused Legionnaire's disease, you know, and it's about like the forensic science that led to like figuring out what is it about this like area that's causing people to get this like disease. And there was an arsonist, there was a serial arsonist who was an arson investigator.
Oh shit.
And people died from his fires. He lit a ton of fires. I forget his name and exactly where it was. But it was wild because he also, like, I'm pretty sure he wrote a book about being an arson investigator who was a serial arsonist.
Oh my god. Like, did he inspire Backdraft?
Possibly.
That movie was so groundbreaking when I feel like when it came out in like, oh, you're too young and I've spoiled it. It's like a movie about firefighters.
Okay. But okay, true enough. Now I want to watch it though. So yeah,
it was like the biggest movie in like 1992, and I loved it. But I was also so young. There's a lot of stuff from that age that I thought was just like a classic, like perfectly made film, and then I go back and I realize like no, I was just 12 and easily. But I kind of think like it was the biggest movie that year, so it's probably at least a fun movie.
It sounds like a serious movie and not something that would just be like, oh, like you enjoy it more. Well, never mind. I was gonna ask an age question, and I'm not gonna go there.
Oh,
seems disrespectful.
I'm 44.
But how old were you in 92 then? Okay.
So 92, that was the year I turned 12.
Right, you literally said I was 12. My listening skills are terrible. So no, I'm sure it's a good movie, and I'm gonna definitely look it up because it's a fascinating subject.
Okay, so you watch Forensic Files? Yes,
that's a TV show I love. I also love the YouTube channel Explore with Us, and they have a bunch of sub channels as well. But it's a lot of body cam footage. Mm-hmm.
And what do they explore?
Like body cam footage and interrogation footage.
Oh, yeah. Shit. Yeah. Like, so from crime.
Yes, it's pretty much always crime with that one, but it's fascinating because you're right in it. Since body cams have come out, there's some, you could see some crazy stuff, and I don't mean like, like it's wild, these scenarios, and I don't mean like it's on YouTube, so it's not like they blur out stuff that's, they would demonetize them, but it's still pretty wild to just be like right there in the moment when something really intense is happening, like for police, and then you see these like interrogations, and then the narrator will give like breakdowns of certain things, like sometimes, and other times it's just like straight up the footage of the cop for 20 minutes. And do
you watch war footage at all? Because I know that's like a big thing, like people are like, oh, because you could see all this stuff nowadays that you couldn't see before, and I'm like, I
try not to.
I don't go look at any.
Yeah, the Ukraine one I've seen some, but I know that it's out there. Like you could go and watch like some stuff. Yeah, like people Russian trenches and stuff like that, and drone footage and like. But no, I don't really want to see people die. Yeah, I've like seen it enough on the internet that I am like had my fill of that. I don't mind it in fiction. Yeah, because I know it's not real, and I don't mind stuff like the body cam footage because it's almost never.
It's more like it's after people chasing. Oh, it's like
police showing up at like a noise complaint, and then you find out they've got dead people there, or like they've kidnapped somebody. One that was actually like the most crazy, and a police officer actually died. So he shows up to just a basic trespass, which is just like this guy needs to leave this property. The cop shows up, and this person is, I assume, high. Anyways, long story short, this guy stabs the cop in the throat and dies, and the cop dies, and then a bystander shoots the guy. Now, none of that is like on camera, but it's from the perspective of the cop who dies.
Oh my god!
Like, because his body cam is capturing it, so it's like, whoa, that kind of stuff is like, it's kind of crazy to watch. Maybe I'm a little fucked up in the head that I watch this kind of stuff, but I find it interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy. My sister-in-law is a social worker, and there was a point in time when she used to work with the police, like when they went to a domestic dispute, which is like, that's when like the police are most likely to get killed. But she wouldn't even have like a vest on. She'd just like go up to the house and be like, "Hi, I'm Lisa." Like, let's have a chat.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's scary. It's scary what those people have to go through, both social workers and law enforcement. It's like they have a really crazy, intense job.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of respect for law enforcement. Not a popular opinion, I guess, for some people, but you know, I think it's like everybody, there's good and there's bad. You know.
Yeah.
Totally lost my train of thought. Oh, I swore. I hope you can edit that out.
Oh no, you can swear.
Can? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. True.
I just like when I clip stuff, if there's like a swear word in it, I'll bleep it because I think like TikTok will maybe, I don't know.
I think there's a thing with YouTube where as long as it's not in like the first certain amount of time allotment, then you're good.
Yeah, and then there's like a labeling. So I say like it's explicit, but I don't indicate. There's one thing to say if you think only people over 18 should watch it, but I just say like it's not made for kids. It is explicit, but it's not an 18 plus explicit.
Okay, good. Yeah, I don't think. Well, no, yeah. I think 17-year-olds could hear this conversation. It'd be fine. It doesn't get too graphic. You should learn about the Holocaust and Game of Thrones. It's fine. Somebody's got to teach them.
Amazing. So that's been our time.
Been so much fun.
Yeah, it's been great having you on, John.
Thank you for having me. Yes.
Thanks so much for coming.